everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. Here's Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. On third down, Winston. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3 and out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go now. Green 3.
They try again with Lewis. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. 5 yards to gain here on third down.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
From the gun, here's Savage. Going underneath for Lewis. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it too.
On 1st and 10, Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Again, it's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
The play clock's running down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2nd and goal. Defense digging in again. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs have taken a 1st quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM that always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him. And he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. There's Savage now on second. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Let's go. Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd, Savage. It's complete to Fleener. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the 1st quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Savage. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. But they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off.
And this is caught. It's the tight end Fleener for the Saints touchdown. Kobe Fleener with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
That one, 28 yards on the ground.
Now, the good thing for you, partner,
is you're not as old as I am, okay? So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. But on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You just find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. It might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side.
Sure.
But not necessarily all the time.
Off the play fake, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Jameis on second down. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it first and goal.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll run. This is Cobb. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Tom Savage ready to lead his troops back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? his pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Flush to his right. He juked him, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A first down throw for Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. This is Cobb with a catch right side. A good pickup there at 22. From the red zone now, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On second down, here's Savage. Left side and caught by Flainer. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Savage on third. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
On 1st and 10, Savage. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's got it over the middle. Flainer. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one.
Let's go! 3-19!
To the air again, Savage. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So we have reached halftime here. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. So that'll back them up 5. 1st and 15 here behind the chains. Defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Let's go!
They go play fake. Now Savage. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He's going to field this at the 4. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Winston now to throw on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
They'll run with Cobb. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here's Cobb. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They go play action. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third and short yardage, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
First down, Winston. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground with Cobb. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Play action now, Winston. And he holds it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Mike Evans, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here.
and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 60 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They run. This is Lewis. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Throwing on third down, it's Savage. It's caught on the right side, it's Smith. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And Lutz puts this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
This is fielded at the goal line. A beautiful fake. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage a quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a cat and mouse game. They keep it on the ground. Cobb again. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back. In that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keep. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Winston. Fighting down past the 45. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, It's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To throw, Winston. Evans has it left side. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a carry for Kyle. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Bucs on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the...
He's got a man, complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Saints. 46 yards. A first down throw coming. Savage. His throw incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On 2nd and 10, Savage sets up the screen to Lewis. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down. They were trying to set up that screen, try to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And they'll get 17 yards there, and it'll be first down, Saints. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Here's Savage now on second. And he's got it. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Dion Lewis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
8 yards to go here on second down. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken around the 12. comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Yeah, not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Savage now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking to find some space for Dion Lewis there. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Hurry up, here we go.
To throw on 3rd down. Savage. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll run with Muhammad. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They go again with Muhammad. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Over the middle, Rodgers has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Savage trying to rally the troops and get them to the line fast. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Savage wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Hank's almost going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And that one falls incomplete. And now, look at the clock. Only 7 seconds remain. Osweiler to a knee, and that should wrap this one up.